Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. For today's video, what we're going to be doing, we are going to be comparing the James Charles palette and the Profusion Spectrum palette. And we're doing this today to see if we can create the same look and get the same quality and the same payoff from either palette. So let's say that you don't have a Morphe store or an Ulta store near you, or you can't really access Morphe, and you are able to access like a Walmart or a Target or something like that, then you'll be able to pick this up instead of really having this. I mean, of course, these are 10 of the shades that are in here, but I mean, this is an option if you would like a rainbow palette. Well, we're gonna see if it's gonna be an option if you want a rainbow palette. So stick with me, we're gonna go through this. It's gonna be kind of fast. I'm gonna do like a quick little look on my eyes to show you the pigments and the quality of them. So let's go ahead and get started. So I just want to start off with the differences and the similarities between the two palettes. Similarities would be they have 10 similar shades, actually 9, because the shade in here called Bermuda, which is this very like pale blue shade. The James palette does not have that. So let's say 9 of the similar shades, and they're both inexpensive. So this one you can get at Walmart for about $4.95 or $5. I picked it up at Walmart for about $4.95 or $5, and then this you can get at Ulta or at the Morphe store or online for both, for about $39. And I believe if you use a code you get 10% off, which, you know, saves you 10%. And you get 39 shades in here. They're easily accessible, so if you do, like I said, if you do have either store near you, you can usually find a way to pick them up, or if not, you can always get them online as well. So now the differences between the two of them, obviously the price is different, so you're going to be paying $1 per shade in comparison to 50 cents per shade, but then again you're getting 39 shades in comparison to 10 shades. So also the packaging is a lot different. So you have like a very hard, sturdy plastic, and then you also have the names in the actual palette written in there, and then you also get an example of it on the back as well. For the James palette, you have like a hard cardboard with magnetized corners. You get this lovely piece of plastic with the names on it, so be sure to keep this if you're doing something like this, or you know, if you're doing a tutorial and you want to list the names, you might want to keep this. And you get these lovely 39 shades. So also something else that I want to note is that with the James palette, you have to make sure that you're using a specific base with this. He recommends either the Morphe base or the MAC paint pot. I have been using like this off-brand similar paint pot, and that seems to work fairly well. With this Spectrum palette, you can pretty much use anything you want to use as a base, whether it's concealer or, you know, a paint pot or whatever, and get the look that you want to get out of it. Now this, I would say, is buildable, and this is definitely, you get a little more payoff initially if you use the right base. This is going to be my second time making this video, because in the first time I attempted to make this video, I used the wrong base and it just wasn't a fair fight, so I'm gonna redo it using a better base, so that way we can really see the quality of both. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and insert right now a picture of some swatches that I did earlier with the shades that compare. The top row is the Profusion shades, and the bottom row will be the James Charles palette shades. And so from the top row, going from the green shade, the light green shade, starting with Lucky, the yellow shade, which is Marigold, Beat, which is the orange shade, Ember, which is the rusty brown shade, Nautical, which is the blue shade, Rain, which is the purple shade, Rave, which is the pink shade, Totally, which is the maroon shade. And now I know there's an extra shade in there. Let me get through the other. And then for the James Charles palette, we have Social Blade, which is a green shade, B, which is the yellow shade, 518, which is the orange shade, 10% off, which is the rust brown shade, Brother, which is the blue shade, Single, which is the purple shade, Skip, which is the pink shade, and Maroon, and Love That, which is the maroon shade. And then the two shades that I didn't mention because they are slightly different is for the Profusion side, you're going to see like a teal, for the Profusion in the top row, you'll see like a teal color, and that will be Peacock. And then in the bottom row for the James Charles palette, you'll see a similar color underneath that, and that will be Playground. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for my, I know I moved in real close. So for my right side of my face, I'm going to be using the Profusion palette. We're just going to be going into a few of these shades. And to be honest, I'm going to use the shades that I know work best because some of the formula in this is inconsistent. So you have one shade in here that feels super buttery. This is also buttery, buttery, buttery. And then you have these shades kind of along the side that get drier and drier. I'm just going to be using the ones that I feel are a little more consistent with the formula, so that way I can make sure it just the look matches instead of it being patchy. With that, I'm just gonna take like a small little, this came in like a Profusion palette, oh god, like a little domed brush, and I'm just gonna use it to pack on some yellow in my inner corner. And I'm using Marigold from the Profusion palette. And I'm doing kind of like a whimsical cotton candy look. I don't know how else to explain it. It's gonna kind of look like a tie-dye maybe. And like I said, these are fairly buildable, so you just kind of have to work with them. I didn't put any powder down. You know, they are very powdery. It will kind of get everywhere, so you just have to be aware of that. And you can see that I have quite a bit of lash glue on my eyelashes. I don't know why. I know why. It's because I wear lashes all the time. Next, I'm going to be going into Peacock, which is that teal color I was talking about earlier. That buttery teal color. This particular color. It just kind of goes on. It's coming off a little more turquoise than I thought. Or maybe a little more teal than I thought. Okay, next I'm taking another brush. And I'm going to be going into the pink, which is Rave. And I'm just kind of tapping and blending as I go along. And finally, I'm taking a little more of a tapered brush. This is a Sonia Kashuk brush. This is a number 7. And I'm going to go into the purple, which is Rain. And the pink and the purple in the Profusion palette are a little more of a drier formula, but just be aware of that. And now I'm just going to take a blender brush and go around the edges very lightly. You guys are seeing everything up close, and it makes me real uncomfortable. So I'm going to go in underneath the eye with a Lucky. In fact, this is what I do if I'm doing like a colorful look. And I need something on my lower lash line. Pack it on. And I'm just trying to give these shadows their best fighting chance because they are going up against the James Charles palette. And go back in with the yellow and just connect it. I'm going back with that blender brush. give it one more little. It'll look better with a lash on, I promise. Kind of like the messy look. Okay, so I'm gonna go clean off these brushes real quick, and then I'll come back and do the left eye with the James palette. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go in with B and just kind of start in our inner corner. I almost feel like this yellow you have to build up just a little bit more. Next, I am going in with Playground. Oh god, I think I put too much. Next, I'm going to be going in with Skip. In both palettes, both pinks stain my eyes, so just be aware of that. The pinks and the purples tend to stain a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with Single, Nut Outer V. Okay, and then I'm going to blend it out. I'm actually going to go back in with Skip. And we're just going to softly blend the edges. I almost forgot to do my under eye, so we're going to go in with Social Blade, and then we're going to go back in with B. Social Blade first, then back in with B. I'm sorry you guys if you hear my fan going, I totally forgot to shut it off. And then we just take the blender brush again, and we just kind of blend that right on out. Okay, now I'm going to go put on a lash and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the final eye look. I think it came out really pretty, really colorful. The shadows seem to work really well with each other. I did use the same blending technique for both sides, so I was using like the tapping blending motion as you guys saw, with of course a blender brush for the edges. I will say that both palettes do have their good qualities and their bad qualities, but for the one that I feel has the most pigment, has the most impact, has the most consistency, overall cohesive look, I would say would be the James Charles palette. Not to say that the Profusion palette didn't do a great job. I just kind of fudged up on the blending over here a little bit, but I do feel like as in regards to this particular look, it blended out beautifully. I didn't have to keep fussing with it like I did with the James palette. Now it could be that, you know, this is kind of like my bad eye, so I do have like a dry patch right here, so that could be what the problem is. But overall, I ended up getting pretty much the same look. So I mean, if you want to go a little bit cheaper and you don't want the whole big palette, even though it's a wonderful palette to get, I suggest, I mean, me personally, I think that everybody should have it in their collection, just because it does have a full range of whatever you need. But if you're looking for something that is extremely inexpensive, something that you can get a beautiful colorful look, and obviously you guys see that it didn't take much to get the pigment on here, and it almost looks just as good as the James's palette. So you guys tell me down in the comments which side you like better, which side you feel worked better. I want to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions. So as for now, I would say that the winner of this particular look is the Profusion side. As far as the overall best palette, I would say that the better palette would be the James Charles palette, but that's just my opinion. You guys tell me down in the comments down below what you think, what side came out better. If you actually like the look that I came up with, let me know. And if you actually like colorful looks, so tell me which is your favorite colorful palette? Let me know in the comments down below as well. Okay guys, so I do want to thank you so much for joining me today, for joining me with this for the palette battle between the Profusion Spectrum palette and the Morphe X James Charles palette. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.